Someone read for us verse 22.
Who also sealed us and has given us the pledge of the Spirit in our hearts.
All right. Someone read it that has a different translation.
Who also sealed us and gave us the Spirit in our hearts as a pledge.
All right. Somebody read it's got a different translation.
Set his seal of ownership upon us and put his spirits in our hearts as a deposit.
Wait, read that one more time.
22?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Set his seal of ownership on us and put his spirit in our hearts as a deposit, guaranteeing what is to come.
All right. Anybody got a different translation? Sam?
And who has also put his seal on us and given us his Spirit in our hearts as a guarantee.
Sam, thank you for bringing a real Bible. Just kidding. That's just the one I like the best. What translation is that?
ESV.
Okay. All right. We have about 4 different words for the Greek word that I'm going to study found in these readings. One was the word pledge. Your word was guarantee. Your word was deposit. All right. And then there is the word, I think the Old King James Bible and the Old American Standard Bible. Anybody have one that uses the word earnest? Say earnest. All right. So there's about 4 different words. Turn to 2 Corinthians chapter 5. 2 Corinthians chapter 5. Again, we want to read 2 or 3 different translations here. 2 Corinthians 5. Scott, start us off with verse 5 there.
Now God is the one who has prepared for us this very thing, and He has given to us the pledge of the Spirit.
All right, given to us the pledge of the Spirit. Anybody have a translation that uses the word other than pledge there? Sam, what did yours say?
He who has prepared us for this very thing is God, who has given us the Spirit as a guarantee.
Guarantee. Okay. Priscilla, does yours say earnest again?
Yes.
Earnest, 2 Corinthians 5:5.
Yes.
Okay.
Who also hath given unto us the earnest of the Spirit.
Okay.
You carrying the Old King James around?
I have NIV too.
Anybody? Yes, sir.
Spirit is a deposit, guaranteeing what is to come.
As a deposit.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Turn to Ephesians chapter 1. Ephesians chapter 1. And let's go through the readings again. Verse 14. Brother Wolf.
All right. Who is the first installment of our inheritance for the redemption of the purchased possession to the praise of His splendor.
The first installment.
If this is the same, this is there.
Exactly.
He's gone off the
Is that Brother
reservation.
McCord?
Yeah.
All right. What have you got, Sam, in yours?
Who is the guarantee of our inheritance until we acquire possession of it to the praise of His glory.
Guarantee.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What else we got?
Earnest.
Yours says earnest again?
Mine
Okay.
says pledge.
Pledge.
A deposit, guaranteeing our
Okay.
Mine's right, yeah, because I have literal.
You
That's
have
a
the
literal translation.
literal
So mine's the
translation.
one that's right.
You have the New Bankers Edition?
All right. So here's what we've got. The word we're looking at has been translated pledge, earnest, guarantee, deposit, installment. We have, is that 5 different English words, and they all come from the same Greek word. All of those are the same Greek word. The Greek word is, well, I don't have the marker, but it's Alpha. It's A-R-R-A-B long O-N. Arabone. Arabone.
Is that the word on the sheet?
Arabone. The accent is on the last syllable. The accent, you go, give me, throw me one. There's the word. Arabone. Arabone. The emphasis of the accent on the last syllable, the third syllable. Let's talk about that word. Now look at again, arabone. We have 5 different English words that we have read. We have pledge, earnest, guarantee, deposit,
And then this one.
and then what's the
First
installment? Okay, all of those words are translated. Translate this one Greek word. This word is one of the most interesting words I've ever studied in all my life in the New Testament. It is only used by Paul. No other writer uses this word. I'm telling you, if there was some way I could translate the way I feel about this to you, this to me, this kind of word right here, this kind of study, to me is what makes the studying the Bible so exciting. And I'm telling you that the thing that I do in my life that I enjoy more than anything else is studying the Bible. Just studying the Bible. And I love to preach and I love to teach, but just studying the Bible and the words in the Bible. And this is one of the most interesting words I have ever come across in my life. And it's interesting from so many angles. No other writer uses this word in the New Testament but Paul. And it was a word that he only used 3 times. Paul only uses it 3 times. And we've read all 3 verses. 2 Corinthians 1:22, 2 Corinthians 5:5, and Ephesians 1 verse 14. And he uses each of these 3 times, he uses it in the same connection. In 2 Corinthians 1:22, he says that God has given us the arabone of the Holy Spirit in our hearts. In 2 Corinthians 5:5, he talks about the arabone of the Holy Spirit. In Ephesians 1:14, he speaks about the Holy Spirit being the arabone of our inheritance. And this word is translated earnest. It is translated pledge. It is translated guarantee. It is translated installment. If you could go back and look at the classical Greek, this word regularly meant caution money that a purchaser had to deposit and pay down when a bargain was struck, and he had to forfeit if the purchase was not carried out. You ever heard of earnest money? You had to pay earnest money when you buy a house. We had we were trying to sell our house in Oklahoma City. We had listed to buy this house, to look at this house, or to buy this house, you got to put down $1,000 earnest money. Our realtor came to us and said, I've got a fellow that says he wants to buy the house, but he's reneged on a couple of deals before, and I want to suggest that you raise at least double the price of the earnest money. So we did that, and the guy ended up not buying the house, and he forfeited that money. And I thought, if I could do this about 100 more times, I could pay for this thing. It's earnest money, it's a deposit, and you forfeit it. And it was literally the first installment, which was the pledge and the guarantee that the rest was going to come in the proper time. Probably the word installment, and it's interesting that Brother McCord in his translation only uses that word 1 time, probably the very best translation of all of them. This word is very common in the papyri, in business documents and agreements. Dr. Milligan quotes some interesting usages of this word. Let me give you 2 or 3 of them. A woman was selling a cow, and she received 1,000 drachmae as an arabon, that the remainder of the price would be paid later on.